Welcome back, everyone. I'm Severino, your personal business coach. And this week, many of you have been asking, Simon, should I focus on product or should I focus on distribution? Especially the ones of you that are just starting out in the beginning with limited time, limited money. Should I focus on building a great product or should I focus on distribution? Or is it 50-50? So let's look at that, and I want to share with you a third way. What if there was a third way instead of just those two traditional options? The third way is flywheels, is building flywheels into your business that will make the distribution for you. They will create as a referral engine. They will bring people in because you have created mechanisms that bake that into the behavior of your users, being it a service or a product that you have. How can you bake distribution systems into the product itself, into the service itself? Are you ready? Let's go. So the first question that I get a lot is, all right, should I go product first and focus on improving the product? Now, if you think of successful stories that started with product, Apple is a good example. Apple started with zero audience and only a great product and was absolutely obsessed about the product. It did work out. On the other side, there are examples of success with just audience in mind. Think of Mr. Beast, who just built a huge audience, and now, I don't know, 9 years later, after having a huge audience, he's now starting to plug in products. So he has created the audience first, which is distribution. And now, for the first time, he's thinking, which products can I plug in here? And right now, he's crushing it with chocolate. He doesn't care about chocolate. Nobody cares about chocolate. But it's an easy product to plug into a distribution system. So he has now the Targets and the Costco's of this world distributing his chocolate, which makes him a ton of money. And what if there was a third way? Because most of you listening here right now or watching on YouTube, we are not Mr. Beast and we are not Apple. So what can be our way? A way of growing and scaling with limited resources. Now, the third way that I want to propose is flywheels. Flywheels answer the question, how can I bake distribution into my product? Let me give you an example. Ecosia is a search engine that plants a tree for every time that you look something up. By doing that, the user is just doing whatever they do. They search for something. But instead of searching on Bing or Google, they search on Ecosia, and without even noticing or remembering, they are planting trees. That's a very smart way because, of course, it also raises your status and also creates positive impact. So there are many reinforcing positive loops in that behavior, and it's easy to start. It's an extension of your browser, and you can start. So, second example are three softwares that I use heavily: Notion, Miro, and Figma. If you use them, so I did fall in love with all three of them because they're just great in terms of user experience and they work and we can collaborate a lot as a team. But also, as you progress as a user, you see, let me save this as a template. And then it's asking you, do you want to share the template? No, not now. Why would I share it? And then it says, oh, you're doing this. Would you like to see some community templates that other people have saved for you? Oh yeah, let me check them. So now you realize that this is a community, that you can build upon each other. And so I use some templates of others, and then I feel to reciprocate. I also share my templates. Well, this is how a network effect starts. This is also how a community starts, by sharing and by making it easy for others to share. So you create reciprocity, you create building on the knowledge of others. Boom, you have collective network effects there and value for users. Great example. Same thing with Miro, same thing with Notion. You save your work, it becomes a template for somebody else. Somebody else learns, they save it, you get a template. Now you have a chance to use, let's say, an Adobe product pre-acquisition, so it's still Adobe versus Figma. And which one do you use? The one that has a community baked in, or the one which is basically a solo player mode? I go with the community. Why? Because you will learn more. You can plug, it's like open source, you can plug into the wisdom of others. They can plug into your wisdom. It becomes a wonderful communion of minds and builders. So we build upon each other, and of course, everybody builds faster in this situation. And as a strategy advisor, I love it because you are creating a moat around your product. Now, new entrant comes in, it's much harder for them to eat your lunch. So, and we can do a full episode on moats if you want. Next thing that I want to share with you is Audible. I run a book club, so I want to read and present a ton of books. Every week we present books, but I have 3 kids, I run a global business, so I don't have so much time to read 50 books a year, but I can listen to them because I'm a daily runner. So while running, I listen to audiobooks on Audible. And what I've recently realized is that they built a flywheel in there, which is Audible clips. So when you're touched by a moment and you want to share it, they built a button, you click it, it makes a clip, and it can be sent on socials. So now you are doing a thing that's natural to you. You're sharing an insight, you're sharing an emotion with others. Why? It's human nature. When we are very, very happy and it overflows us, we want to share it. So, or very touched, we want to share it. So this happens, and on the other side, there's a friend of yours on socials, they see it, oh, let me check, they buy it. So it's a wonderful example of a flywheel that probably you can start thinking about. How can you build this kind of flywheel into your business? How can you make people taste something? Because a clip is a taste for free. It's like when you go to the supermarket, hey, here's a new cheese, taste it. So how can you make people taste your product, your service, in a natural way, in a way that's baked into their way of being a human being and of using things and of sharing things? Next example is a community called Metal, where they have created a button that's called +1. And a button is the ultimate, how to make it easy for people to send other people in. So that's advanced mastery. In our JVC, there is a sheet that's less advanced, but also works. And it's called +1. So make it easy for people by reminding them and by making it literally less legwork, literally easy to send people in. So you can create templates, you can literally build something that makes it easier. Now, this video is getting long, but let me share 4 things that I have learned from studying those companies that you can apply immediately. First, distribution by demonstration. So when you take an hour of thinking time this week, think about how can you make your product visible so that while people are using it, you can actually see the product. For example, running clinic. run by a wonderful entrepreneur called Francisca Severino, who also happens to be my wife, is a group where moms who want to go back on track. So they are running moms, and they want to go back on track after pregnancy. But it's complex. It's not easy to do alone. So they create groups and train together. And because these training groups are run by different running clinic trainers in different parks, wherever you live, you pass by the park, you see them training. They are all training with kids. And so you see them and you start talking to them. That's a perfect marketing mechanism. And even many people ask me, oh, I saw that group. Is that your wife's method? How can I join? So by being visible, what can you do to make your product be visible by itself? Or I remember the first time you could do car sharing, the car itself on the street was the marketing. Oh, there's a car and it says I can rent it. Then they become a free sales team. So what can you do this week to make your users so happy that they become your natural sales team? They start word of mouth campaigns for you without you even asking for them. Lesson number 3, your product as a network. So each user that comes in adds more value to the other users, and so makes your product or your service more valuable in general. This is how you can use network effects for your service or offering. For example, in the JVC, in the Joint Venture Club, each new member brings in a new country, a new industry, a new vertical, new experiences, a new personality, and new connections, a new network that becomes immediately something that the other entrepreneurs can plug into. So this is how you can create network effects. And then the community evolved product. So whenever you're building something new and you're wondering, should I do this feature or that? You can make that team-led, or you can make that community-led. So why not asking, hey, we are thinking about improving these 3 features. Which one is the one that you actually need? Hey, I have these 4 variations for a logo where I'm moving to. Which one do you resonate most with? So making the process of your work, of your normal work, of improving things, curating things, building things, even more community-led. This episode was about flywheels, how you can build distribution moments into your offer itself, into your service or product. Hope this helps, and let me know in the comments what's a growth or sales or marketing question that you have right now. I'm happy to do the next video about that. Keep rolling, everyone.